Tischler on board for the next hour.
Hello, Ralph. Hello, everybody.
How's about something nice and easy?
Ha ha, little Tina Turner. What's up? What's up, Hesh?
Okay, well, I'll tell you something. It's been an exciting couple of weeks and a couple of good months. But before we start the show, I've got to give a quote because I want this show to be based around this quote. And the quote is simple. Faith means believing the unbelievable. Hope means hoping that when everything seems hopeless. And Ralph, this last couple of weeks, everybody told me that it's hopeless, Heshy. You have no chance. You're not even going to get 1 or 2% of the vote. Forget about it. Don't have anything. Give it up. Go back to your job. And you know what? I've been doing my job. Today, I was campaigning and I went back to my job and people called me and I went into my office and 20 people came in and 5 people came in with violations, helped me with pictures. And I did my job and I went to the street. The last 2 weeks, everywhere I've gone, little kids are making me sign my card with the autograph. People are shaking my hand. Do I have hope? I am not hopeless, my friends out there. I have hope. I know I will win this election. Do I have faith? Unbelievable faith that I will win tomorrow. Now, my competitors are nice young men. I invited them on the show tonight.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. And supposedly they're going to call into the show tonight
good.
or talk to me. And I hope they do. And I told them we're only going to talk about friendly things. And if they don't, that's fine. But I want you to know, everybody, tomorrow is a serious day on November the 7th. And I'm talking to you from not so much from my heart, but from my soul. This is a time to make a change. You young people out there, this is a serious thing. I know you got the letters from your rabbis telling you to vote for this guy, and you got the teachers sending home letters to the kids to vote for that guy. Here's the game. You guys are grown up adults, your fathers, your mothers, your 18-year-old men and women. It's time to go out and vote for a change. I'm not happy with what's going on. I am unhappy with any of the things that have been accomplished in the last 8 years. You know, they're going on the radio and they're fighting with each other. My competitors, I've ran a clean, beautiful campaign. Yeah, I was told today by a nice young man, Heshy, you did say something bad once about us, and they tried to come after me too, Ralph. You know, I was trying to defend somebody, a bar, and they tried to steal his building. And yes, I went to defend it against the synagogue. Why? Because they were wrong. You can't be wrong. You can't be hurting somebody. I don't care if you're the rabbi of a synagogue that steals money when you're giving. I don't care if you're the head priest or the head imam. If you're doing something wrong, I'm going to be there. I'm the one to fight. You're not going to bribe me. I was tried to bribe a few times, and I stopped it. And ladies and gentlemen, today we have there's different polls. Somebody sent me a Lieberman poll that I'm in the lead by 41%. Then somebody sent me a poll today that I'm down. I only have 20% of the vote. Now I'm the deciding factor that I should pick on a side. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've been out there the last few weeks. You've seen me. Everybody complained that I didn't campaign enough, that I didn't spend money. Why should I spend $1 million? We're under $20,000. And look at me. I got my name out there. You people know there's a third candidate. I got myself on the ballot. I did the American thing. I was called in today by a Rabbi Lieblich, a very nice man, to speak to his kids in his school. You know, they were 14, 18, 16-year-old kids. And I spoke to them. Everybody says, why are you speaking to kids? Because I want to show them that they have the right
Part of the community.
Part of the community, and to go home to their parents and to the rabbis. This is your opportunity to serve your community. This is a way to make a change. This is what we do to guide our fellow members. Give our heroes, the fathers, the mothers, the brothers, show them, listen, you're the heroes. Pick yourself a choice. But if nobody was going to run, if I wasn't going to step into this campaign, then everybody was going to complain. You know, Trump ran against Hillary. Everybody said Trump lost by a mile. I am here to tell you, no, I'm not Mr. Trump, but I know that you guys have a third option. Your option is simple. Go ahead, deal with the old establishment. I like the other two candidates, don't get me wrong. Nice men, intelligent men, but you guys know I cleaned up at the debate. You're right. They didn't run their campaigns at the end so properly with doing additional interviews and messing it up. You know, they went on, they weren't prepared. The other one is a lawyer, an intelligent man, but again, a legislation only. I'm the man of the street. I'm the guy that you want behind that in that office. I'm the guy you want in city council screaming and hollering, there's not enough money. You know, I found out today, that besides that the budgets and the money that they're giving to our people, that each family in certain schools get $5,000 a week for their education. And I don't know who's getting that money or a month or whatever it is. They're
How do
getting
you qualify for that?
you don't. The schools fill out the forms, and since they're, I'm a full paying tuition father. Not really. I bargained down. I wish I was a full paying. I'm only paying like 16 or 18 grand. I don't know. My wife keeps changing the numbers, screaming either she's stealing the money. But the point is that the government is giving additional funding, and nobody's watching it. Nobody knows what's going on. The parents think that they're getting a deal, but you're not. They're taking the money. Somebody's pocketing that money. Somebody's riching on that money and nobody's watching it. And you want the old establishment just to continue. Oh, look, we brought money in. I don't know where you brought money in because I didn't see it. I haven't watched it come in. I haven't been eased the pain. Tomorrow is November the 7th. I didn't come into this campaign to hope and pray and to be the what's it called again? When you knock out somebody,
The underdog.
not the underdog, but
The
somebody when when you waste somebody, to knock out the top guy, whatever it is, the guy who just isn't there to ruin the guy in the
I see what you mean. Yeah.
right. The guy who's going to anyways win the pennant, but you're out there
Right.
to beat him on the last two games. I'm here to win the pennant. I'm here to win the whole ball of wax. You wanted a campaign. The last 2 weeks I was out on the streets. You wanted me to get a truck, beautiful in the community. They got me a big truck and they put my posters all over it. Wonderful. You should have seen these people. I don't know where this truck came from. Wonderful people. They put a truck for me, posters that's driving all around with my name on it. I've been on these WhatsApps. Like I'm embarrassed to tell you, Ralph. I have 40 WhatsApp groups I'm on right now. Some of them talk nice about me. Some of them knock me. Some of them keep changing their vote because I didn't campaign enough. I didn't spend enough money. I didn't make the little songs and the videos. I'm sorry. I told you what I am. Every morning I get up, I make a video for you straight out who I am from my house or from my office or from the street. And I show you what I can do. I see these other videos coming up beautiful. You should see the fancy backgrounds and their storytelling.
Professionally done.
Do you want somebody that is a real person, somebody that will get the job done, somebody that you guys have been calling me even tonight on the way here? Heshy, I got some parking tickets. The councilman doesn't pick up the phone, or he doesn't deal with it at the assemblyman's office. I said, I will help you, but right now I'm busy today. I was really embarrassed. Usually I'm not so busy. Even I had a couple of clients that I had to tell them that I couldn't take the calls. But I am here to run in the council district or the 44th district to be the next councilman. I know I could do the job. I have 30 years of experience. Plus, I know today that a lot of people are coming around. The little people are scared to tell me openly because they're telling me quietly because they're scared of their schools or their backings or their rabbis or their organizations. You need to come out. So let me tell you the numbers. Tomorrow, there's approximately 18,000 people that are going to come out to vote in my district. That's what they say. I need about 8,000 votes. 8,000 to 9,000 votes, I crush them. Even with 6,500 votes, it's a third of the vote. And I just need a little bit more of a percent if it comes to be a three-way tie. But you guys know in my district of the 44th district that I did great. You guys know when there's trouble. Now, a lot of people, they're making an association, and everybody's telling me, oh, hey, you showed us who you are. The next election, go run against Dov Hikind, the assemblyman, the powerful guy. I said, when you get me elected as assemblyman, as councilman, I will be able to, I only want to be in the council. Everybody says, go to Albany. You're going to be the senator.
You're not looking at your next job.
Right.
You just want this job.
This job. I want to be in the council. I want to be
That's what's wrong with politics anyway. Let's focus on this job.
This job, this is the job I want. I want to be with my people, in my community, in my district to serve you. I'm not looking to go to Albany. I'm not looking to be a big shot. I don't want to be a senator. I want to serve the community where I live in. I want to wake up in the morning, drive to or go take a train or go to my office, go to City Hall, come home to my family. I'm not looking to go 50, 100, 200 miles away, come back and make legislation that half of the time doesn't work anyways and they fight. I want to make changes in my neighborhood. You guys need me. I know that you need me because I've accomplished. I'm here not to complain. You can call into the show, everybody. Ralph, the number.
Yeah, we had a couple of people drop off. I'll put you right up on the air, 212-219-9695, 212-219-9695. Catch us on YouTube if you want to see the program and you also want to go back in the archives and see what we did the last 4 or 5 weeks. Do that also, 212 219-9695.
I'm taking calls no matter what. So once they call, Ralph, even if I'm talking, just
Sure,
interrupt me and
sure. I
push
will.
away.
I will.
Everybody, I want you to know this is election is a serious matter. It's a time that we have to stand up for our rights. I've come up with ideas on the parking situation in my neighborhood that a lot of these WhatsApp and chats have made fun of. But again, they're better than what my opposition has said. I've come up with ideas how to ease congestion. I've come up with ideas how to make sure to fight the city and its building department. I've come up with ideas how to fight the DOT, the DOH, how to make developers and contractors their lives a little easier so they can make our lives and create more housing. I have a way to change zoning regulations that I've been researching for the last 5 years. Now I've done more research on how to actually make it happen, that I could create more housing. Again, people have told me in the past, we don't need more people living in this congested area. Let's go to another neighborhood. Let's send our kids away. Why? We've built our neighborhoods. We've built strong. Ralph, I heard you talking before on my show that the shooting, the guns. I've been against guns. I hate guns. I believe guns should be wiped off the planet. There should be no guns ever created again. Shooting, killing 25 more people in a church. Las Vegas, it just doesn't end. I'm sorry, ladies. I don't know how to cry for you. It just, we don't learn. Why aren't we learning? Cops, we had a cop in our neighborhood beat up an old 71-year-old man. We were going to make a demonstration last week, and I was going to get on there. I was going to talk, and I was told, stop the terrorist attack in New York. Try not to make a commotion. And I was told to stop this protest, which I didn't really create, but I was going to come and support the people in my neighborhood. None of the other politicians were going to come. They were going to let my people get beat up or arrested or screamed at or threatened. And if they would have come in force, nothing would have happened. But again, I was the only politician to come or wanted to come. And I did come at the end and send people home because I didn't want trouble. Guns are bad. So when this old man was pulled out of his car, because these two cops had guns, scary. One was a lady yet. She took out a gun like, I mean, she's going to beat her, threw on a 71-year-old man on the floor, cuffed him, and man was screaming and hollering because he didn't take out his thing or he was disrespectful. Is this normal?
No. And this goes on. And if you don't make a big issue about it, nobody will.
Right. And the worst part is I've been asking for updates on this investigation.
Right.
Zero. My politicians have given zero back. People are asking me. I said, look, I'm not an elected official yet, and they don't have to cooperate with me. But none of our elected officials now, and the candidates that they've put up have given us one drop of information. This is already 10 days later when this man is beaten up, and nobody has told us about it. It's simple. It's on video. How he dragged him out of the car, threw him on the floor, and it's simple that for a registration or pulled over on a cell phone. On a cell phone, he got pulled out of his car, beaten up, thrown on the floor, and taken to a hospital. As a matter of fact, he's a Holocaust survivor.
Really? Yeah. How old is the man?
71 years old.
Wow.
How do you do this to a man? This is what I'm talking about, abuse. And I'm not talking only the police. I'm talking then it goes throughout to all the city organizations. They hired now 200 more inspectors. Now, here's my little problem with you, Ralph. We're budgeted behind. We have problems. We have to raise taxes, raise water, raise fees. But they're able to hire 200 more inspectors. 4 of them come to your house like Nazi stormtroopers and write your violations. It's like not normal. And they torture you. It's not only them, it's the DOT. And then, we had, again, one department doesn't talk to the other department. They don't care. And we allow this abuse to go on, everybody. We're allowing you to go on. We're allowing the same way. So I don't mind it. If you want the old ways, hey, you got 2 candidates. Pick them, choose them. Go on if you're happy with your ways. You need somebody to get up there in the city council and scream and holler. You need somebody in our neighborhood who knows the regulations, not just legislation. Somebody that knows the laws and how to navigate the laws, teach you the laws, and then when we see what the problems are with the laws, make legislation to change those laws that are no good. Do I have hope that I will win tomorrow? Do I have faith? I have hope that the laws will get better. I have hope that our politicians will be better. I hope and believe and have faith that the guy who gets elected tomorrow will do the right thing and not just want to be a career politician. I don't want to be. I want this job for 8 years. I want to stand over there and I know when I'm going to retire and turn it over to the next guy and show him the right path, that I fix things up and I've put you on a direction with to do it. We don't have aftercare programs. We don't have after school programs.
You don't.
That means when a kid at 3 or 4 years old comes home, Ralph, you come home
Yeah.
from work at 6, 7, a minimum
Mhm.
5. What are you doing with the kid? You have to hire a special babysitter, go there.
Right.
Why don't we have these programs? Why don't we have special GED programs? Why don't we have youth center programs? Why don't we have more soup kitchens in our neighborhood? And yes, I'm talking about my neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen out there. And I'm talking that I would like the word to spread all over. We do a lot of good community services. But there's so much money coming in and we're not concentrating it. We have mental health issues. We have postpartum depression. We have a private organization, Sparks, that is just a wonderful organization. But again, it's a private organization. We have an organization called Shevis Achim that feeds people every week, 100 families. And then there's other organizations. I was by Friday. I went to a place that I've helped out with some violations,
Mhm.
and it's a place in Flatbush that on Fridays they prepare a whole big kitchen, and anybody can come in and take beautiful. The way they spread the food, it's like a buffet. Take home as much as you want for your family for the Shabbos,
Mhm.
and people come in the hundreds. They take home, and the way they set it up, clean, beautiful. It's better than any takeout that I've ever
Mhm.
gone to.
Mhm.
I actually wanted to take home. I
Mhm.
knew I couldn't, but I wanted to take home. I was so proud to stand in front over there and take the picture. They gave me a blessing. You're going to win this election just because you helped us. No, I don't need to win because I helped them. I helped them because I wanted to, because they do good things. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an organization called Hatzalah. Hatzalah is an organization like an EMT service, but 10 times better. You call them, they're there within 2 minutes. These are men who have big businesses, who have small businesses, who have private owned businesses, workers, and within 2 minutes, they run around. They're there faster than an ambulance and any police. Then there's a new organization they made, a ladies' organization, to compete with them. Why? Why don't you support the organization that has saved hundreds and hundreds of
Mhm.
thousands of lives? Now they have to switch over to digital. I heard this weekend they have to go from the regular radios and antennas they have all over. You're talking there in Borough Park and Flatbush and Muncie and Monroe. They're all over the 5 boroughs. They service Jewish people and not Jewish people. They
Mhm.
come day and night. You're talking 24 hours a day. These guys don't rest. They have thousands of members, and they are angels. Each and every one of them. The training they go through, the money they have to put up of their own money to be part of this organization, the constant ambulances, how they do it, how they follow the Sabbath rules, and on the Sabbath they come. 24/7. There's no excuses that they're not there for you. I was upstate in the country, and there's a guy Hatzolah member in our synagogue. There's Hatzolah all over the place. They now have to go digital. You know how many millions of dollars they have to switch over to go digital? Why aren't we raising the money for them? Why aren't we showing them how much money they need? Yeah, people give them donations and so on, but why aren't we concentrating on organizations like this instead of always bickering and fighting and creating a new organization for ladies?
Let me break in 1 second because people are asking. Go to Just Enough Heshy to see this on YouTube and to maybe possibly kind of direct you when you go to the polls tomorrow, because you'll see what we did here the last 4 or 5 or 6 weeks. It's just Just enough Enoughh Heshy Heshy. For all those who got in contact with me, just go there and watch the program and call in. The phones are open 212-219-9695.
By the way, I do still have my website up, Tischler for City Council, TISCHLER FORCITYCOUNCIL.com. You could go to my website and still give a donation to the campaign because I'm sure we're going to have some kind of bills left over at the end of the day. Uh, um, I've run this campaign as a one-man campaign. I don't have 100, 200 staff members like the other guys. Yes, I did use some of my staff from my office. My partner wasn't too happy about it. I used the legal advice, making sure I didn't do anything wrong and follow the campaign finance board. That's why it took me an extra month. I did use my secretaries to pick up some phone calls for me, you know what I mean, and mail some letters out for me. But I'm a one man thing. I did the streets myself. I walked door to door. I shook the hands out there. I went, this weekend there was every after the Sabbath we have like a little Malava Malka, it's called a little party. We go to people's homes or our synagogues and we have a celebration and we celebrate the going away of the Sabbath and the new week coming in, and we sing and we welcome in. We thank God of the holiness that we just went through. And I had to go to a bunch of them, and I went to like 7 of them. Wonderful. Each one welcomed me, hugged me. They knew me, and I was so proud of it. I believe I have the votes there. I need you to come out there tomorrow. I need 7,000 votes. Let's show our voices. Let's show the people that you really want a candidate to make a change. You know what? In 4 years from now, if you're not happy with me, we can always go back. I know it'll be a waste of your time, you think, but if that's what you want, is the same direction you want, the same, when you hire a contractor, do you want to hire a contractor that's never worked before in construction? Do you want to hire whatever it is, a bartender that's never served drinks before?
Mm.
You want people to know their job. When you become a waiter, you don't become a waiter first, you become a busboy. I'm the guy that's been trained the last 30 years. I do know laws and regulations. Today, somebody came to me from Queens. Heshy, my fence is too high, and I did the research on it. I know the laws. I do the regulations. I know the legislation. I know the things. Sometimes I don't have to work in creating new laws because that's not my job. I do follow the new laws, and if I'm happy with it or not, I understand it. My friends out there in the 44th district, I'm talking across New York City, it's time to make a change. It's time to stand up. Mayor de Blasio is going to win this election.
Oh,
I
yes.
hate that.
Landslide.
This guy is no good. Do you know
Competition is so terrible.
But I know the Republican lady.
But she's a non-entity.
The point is, she was right. De Blasio took money. You know that. This guy gets on the stage. He gets on the stand. He says he gave de Blasio money. He gave everybody. He gave people in my community money too. Don't even think for a minute not. I mean, you think
he was just under the ability to be prosecuted. See, he knew just how far to go.
Right, exactly. And my point is nobody's saying a word. We're going to re-elect Mr. de Blasio. Yep. And Mr. de Blasio on mayoral time came to campaign for one of my opponents. I mean, this guy's not busy enough. And then Senator Schumer, this great Senator Schumer, who shuts down the government, turns down our money, votes against our president over and over, not because he's against the policy. He just hates Republicans. He wants to show that he's the leader of the Democratic Party. This Schumer should be thrown out of office. This man, and I'm a Democrat, this man does not, and I really liked him at the beginning. He doesn't belong to be senator.
I have some questions for you. Want to take them?
Yeah, sure.
And I have some that people sent me here.
Go ahead.
One says, police corruption, you often talk about it. Can we expound on that and tell me exactly what you see in your community and how you're going to fix it?
Well, very simple. First of all, I plan on implementing a civilian, just like a civilian committee that will oversee housing in my neighborhood, and I will create one that will oversee the DOB, and I will put liaisons in there, and I will force them to accept my people, and we will watch, and I will see the people in their departments running things slower. I will complain, and I will say I want them fired. I want people in the community board fired. Everybody says you can't fire the community board. They get nominated and they have to serve their term. Let me tell you, Ralph, when I get elected to city council, those people on the community board are going to get hell from me every day till they resign their position so I can put new people there. They are going to suffer if they want to stay there while I am city councilman.
And that was, by the way, that was Leo in
But I didn't
Flatbush.
answer the question.
Please do. Go ahead.
I'm going to create an independent, just like they have a community affairs officer. I'm going to make a community. A civilian thing that will sit in the police station. They're going to watch the comings and goings on how they arrest people. I'm going to make sure that they go on. I'm not going to let these police officers 150 ticket quota to do. Today, me and my son Avin were driving here to your show, and there's a guy. I understand doing.
I need that though.
I understand, Ralph, that there's a cop hiding in the corner and waiting to zoom out and get you. But it was 6:30 at night when we're driving over here. It's pitch dark on the highway. This guy is sitting on an angle at a 45 or 50 degree. I'm talking an angle, sitting on a hill and running traffic where people are flying at 45 miles an hour. And when somebody's going to speed or something, he's going to zoom into traffic without making an accident to try to catch this speeder to give him a ticket. Why?
I know, it's really ridiculous.
The police corruption,
priorities are so screwed up.
The Department of Investigation itself is corrupt. They only go after who they want and where they think they can get bigger. We got to wipe them out. We got to fire them across the board. Yes, I will go with my city council members, sit down, create meetings, say, listen, guys, we got to make a change. We're the boss. We control this city. City council, we're the ones who are in charge of the $86 billion budget. Let's sit down and fire the cross board. Not get crazy, but it's time to make a change.
Here's another one. We talked about sanitation problems in the neighborhood. This is something that affects all of us. What kind of real changes can you make, and how are you going to fight what they say I can't read it. Fight City Hall with this. It's virtually impossible.
Well, my ideas on sanitation is just like the commercial people. During the daytime, there's no real reason to run garbage trucks. I mean, you should run them at nighttime. When you make us take out the garbage anyways at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I've seen it in my neighborhood that the garbage men come at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I was standing at the sanitation yard the other day when a lot of trucks were coming back to park at 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning. So it is possible to do garbage at night. That could alleviate the traffic. I would like to change the schedule across the city, across the board, to do garbage night pickups when there's less congestion on the street. That alleviates people screaming and beeping and hollering and threatening our garbage men. Our garbage men are good men. They are very, I stop, sometimes the garbage man says, don't get nervous. I said, listen, man, I know you're doing your job. What do you think? I'm going to beep you and rush you? I'm sitting here patient. There's nothing I can do, and I want you to pick up the garbage. So, yes, I plan on changing our time schedules for the garbage. I plan on working on day schedules. Again, working with my city council members that there has to be a better scheduling. Somebody's messing up over here. Somebody's not controlling it. I plan on testing in my area that I've already come up with a plan on parking. Today one of my friends was in the car with me screaming, look at all these buses parked on the street. I said, if you let me create my parking spot that I've already designed with my architects in my neighborhood of 4,000 cars to take off the street at nighttime that you can park for free in my lot. During the day, you'll have to pay the ticket. You pay your little, whatever, 50 cents or whatever it is. I'm going to have all the buses, instead of parking on the lot, parked by me.
All right, caller, what's going on? What's your question?
They hung up. They hung up. I'm sorry. Call back, caller. Don't hang up. We'll take your calls. I'm ready to listen. I want to, and again, I don't want a bus running around because people who are walking the streets need a bus. I want a bus driving on every single avenue in Borough Park and Flatbush and Bensonhurst. Any places that I can ease congestion. You park in my lot, it'll take you to the stores. Well, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to have to get back in the bus. I'm going to have to come back with my car. Listen to me. It takes you 45 minutes to drive 8 blocks. Don't you think that's ridiculous? If my minivan or my parking ride takes you from my parking lot to your avenue that you want in 5 minutes, your shop, it takes you back because there'll be a bus every 5 or 10 minutes. You're able to get your car, drive again 5 minutes to pick up your stuff. It's still the same time, but instead of you freaking out and screaming in your car and having road rage, they made up a new law now with road rage.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a felony now.
Yeah.
And of course people get angry.
Mhm.
I know it shouldn't come out to shoot people. That's wrong. But people do come out. People do fight. I see it every day. People fighting with parking spots, hitting one another. So the cops are going to decide what road rage is because they want another arrest on their record. And they're just going to take you into jail. They don't do investigations. Most of these police officers, all you have to do is make a complaint that somebody did something to you. They come arrest you, say go to the courts and fight it out.
Mhm.
I don't like that. I will not accept that. In my community, today I was talking to somebody. There's cameras all over our neighborhood when the child was cut up. I told you we had a child kidnapped and killed. So they put these cameras all over the place. Again, recently there was some kind of vandalism on one of the candidates' vehicles. The camera didn't work. The camera didn't work to show us the vandalism on it. What's going on here? Why aren't these cameras updated? Why aren't these cameras watched and checked? I mean, if you're taking responsibility for it, then take responsibility for it or have it to the police. But don't put the NYPD logo on it. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stress you again, tomorrow's November the 7th. All these complaints I'm giving to you, I'm not hate. I don't have a hate campaign. I'm not knocking my other opponents. I'm telling you what I can do. I'm telling you the better candidate who knows the ideas, who lives the issues. Ralph, I'm the only candidate that actually lives in the center of the neighborhood.
Is that true?
Yeah, 35 years. Whether the other young men have gone out to school or live in our district, you're right. One of the opponents says, well, I live on the other side of the line. Really, I do live in the district, but not with where you vote for me, but I'll move when I have to. It's not acceptable. I'm here with my neighbors. I go to hospitals. This week I went to usually my walk when I go to after the synagogue. I go to visit somebody. I go to the hospital. I go to nursing home. Then I walk to Flatbush to my friend, and I end up over there about 45 minutes, an hour walk the whole thing. But I make stops on the way. This week it took me 4 hours to get to my last stop. People stopped me, thanked me, told me it's a great thing what I'm doing. Is it true that I'm doing a great thing, people? I'm telling you now, just don't thank me and say good things to me and be nice to me. Come out, vote for me tomorrow. Show them that you're not scared of them. Show them the change. I'm not going to be angry no matter what. I'm going to serve my community and continue in my duties. And whoever gets elected to the office will be able to call on my services at any time. If Mr. Hyken gets elected, I will be there. I want to be his liaison to the building department. If Mr. Yeager gets elected, I will be there too. Well, I don't know what he needs from me because he's more of a lawyer. That's what he does. He's a consultant lawyer that he makes legislation. I am there to help you both. I am there that I want to be elected because when I get elected, I'd like to call on both of you to come help me with all your friends and people that you've known. Maybe you can help my staff move up a little faster. I am here to tell you that I'm happy for 7.5 years. And I'm going to tell you what Ronald Reagan said, right? What did Ronald Reagan said? Are you better off now than you were 8 years ago?
Yeah.
The answer is no. The answer is straight out no. Yeah, you have some nicer parks. I don't see more housing going up. We have a few more developers that built a few projects with heartaches and they had to go 20% over budgets with the fines. Today I have a guy almost finished his house, Ralph. The guy ran a beautiful job today. He came into me with 5 violations. While he was sanding the new stairs, usually on a construction site, you need handrails, you need guardrails, you need to have the safety superintendent. The building is finished. Really, it's finished. He's sanding the floor, so he took off the temporary guardrail to put it, but there's no real workers going there. There's no fall things. The inspector came in, punished him with 5 violations, $20,000 in penalties today. $20,000 that I have to go to the city to fight and try to lower down because there was no safety issues. The man had a camera inside, he had pictures. I'm going to go with the whole pitch. But again, my opponents think, oh, well, you go before the judge, he makes a decision. These are administrative law judges. They go by the letter of the law. They don't care if you're right or wrong.
One more question I have here is your neighborhood affordable to a middle class family or even lower middle class family? Is it an affordable place to live? And if not, what can you do to make it affordable?
So that's my answer to you. The answer is no. The answer is that our rents have skyrocketed to crazy numbers, and it's not because the landlords are abusing their privileges. They can't afford what they have. They're getting crushed by the violations, by the sanitation tickets daily. Daily, even if you're not guilty, you keep getting one. Oh, you have, I only have to sweep between 6 and 8 in the morning, 6 and 8. They come by in the afternoon. They're told to ticket us if the sign on your garbage can doesn't say the recycling word on it. I mean, they come up with crazy stuff. And how do I make it? So right now, I told you I rented an apartment to somebody, and my one of my cousins is screaming at me. I understand, yes, you could have gotten $3,000 for the apartment plus electric and heat. You rented it for $2,000. My brother screamed at me. I said, I can't. It's not right. I have enough money. I don't need to make $1 billion. I'm doing pretty good. And I calculated that this would be enough for me to make it through, that I could pay my bills and still walk away with a little bit of money. How do I plan on making it affordable? Like, very simple. I'm gonna change the zoning regulations in my neighborhood to move an R4 to an R5, especially in the lower numbers in my neighborhood in the 9th, 10th, 11th avenues. I'm gonna move all the R5s to R6s. That means you're able to now go, instead of a 3-family home and 55 feet deep, to build 65 feet long and to go up to 60 feet high, add on 3 or 4 apartments. I'm going to make the developers give me 10% back for low income and affordable housing. I'm going to make those people who get those apartments cheap. They cannot sell those units for 20 years. So this is not something that you're going to buy and make a profit on. You want to have low income? No problem. I'm going to give you an apartment. You're going to live there, turn it over to your kids. And I'm going to make it, well, anybody that gives breaks. I met a landlord recently, has 30 houses across the board. Wonderful man. And he rents his apartments below market value. And we asked him why. He says, I've been doing it for 30 years. I've been doing it for 30 years. He says, I want to be good to my community. I want to serve. I want good paying tenants. I want less headaches. And if I'm good to them, they'll be good to me. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. I have ideas on housing. I have ideas on garbage. Do I take the call?
Let's grab it. Josh, go ahead. Your question.
Yeah, Josh, is this the same Hershey you were serving in Oroville?
Yes, it is.
Do you have a question, Josh? Josh,
okay.
are you okay? You want me to come and bring the medics over? Do you have a question?
No, just wanted to know.
You got it. The same. He's the very same guy. Yes, he is. You gonna go out to vote tomorrow?
Yeah.
Who are you voting for?
Yeah, for Hershey.
Going to vote for you, Hesh.
Excellent, Josh. You see,
For Heshy.
Josh, I am not ashamed of my past. I've worked hard. I've made mistakes. I've kept my mouth shut. When somebody is wrong, I will tell him he's wrong. But I'm there to defend the weak. I'm there to not only the weak, to my neighbors, even the strong. People need help. Sometimes I break down too, and I need a pat on the back or I need encouragement. Sometimes everybody was saying, "Oh, Heshy, you might lose. Don't worry about it. We're gonna make you everybody wherever I went. We're gonna make you a celebration party, whether you win or lose." You know what I mean? I have people coming to me tomorrow. You're gonna come to our houses. I am there for you. I like that. It made me feel good. I like when my community makes me feel good.
Next phone call. You're on the air. What's your name? What's your question? What is your name? What's your question? Are you there?
Okay, back to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, my neighbors, and people across the city, it's time. It's a time of change. This is the time. Here is your opportunity. Like Ralph said, don't call him back tomorrow and tell him, "Oh, I didn't vote," and complain and
That's
cry.
exactly right. You're on the air. What's happening? What's your question? All right, go ahead.
Okay. Well, you don't have to talk. You could call and breathe heavy to me. I have no problem. I'm not like Ralph. Ralph doesn't like heavy breathers. I have no problem. I'm married for
As she gets
27
off on
years.
it. Hey,
Yeah. No good.
by the way, what I mentioned before, if you didn't listen to the first hour, is that you have to be a part of this whole thing. You have to go out. Now, you mentioned something very significant. You said it's one thing to congratulate you. I'm so happy that you're running. We love you. But now come through for the man and get out to the polls tomorrow and show him through your ballot that you love him so much.
Yeah, I mean, we've always complained every year, every chat group I'm part of. You complain. Come on, guys, stop complaining. Show the world the change. Take a chance with me. I'm not asking you to you owe me anything. I'm not telling you I'm the guy who gave to the community. I'm the one who has done for the community. I'm not asking you to vote for my brother or my uncle. I'm the guy who's telling you vote for me because I do. Everybody says, "Oh, Heshy, you're such a nice guy. Continue doing what you're doing, but you're not a politician." No, I'm not a politician. Exactly why you want me in office. I'm a doer. I'm a giver. We have a call?
We do. Caller, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, hi. No, I just heard the question about you serving time in Otisville, but it's hard for me to understand how I can take everything that you're saying for that it's true.
As truth? What exactly did you wonder about? What question are you talking about?
Well, I know that people who go to jail obviously did something wrong, that either they conned people, and I know that Otisville is known to be a white-collar crime jail. So it's just hard for me when politics is so full of
a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of stuff like that. Let's let Heshy answer. Stay where you are. Maybe we'll have a follow-up. Go ahead, Hesh.
Well, I'm going to tell you that I've answered this question many times, and people know it, and I'm going to tell it to you straight out. I did something wrong. First of all, there's a guy now running for mayor who hijacked the plane.
This is true.
And he's running for mayor, but that's not me. I'm a guy who has served my community for 30 years. I had 70 employees, and I've told this on the radio before. I had 70 employees. I had a guy who came to me, he says, "Heshy sponsors some immigrants, people who work in our community." And I love immigrants. I don't care where you come from. I don't care if you come from Israel, Mexico, Brazil, Hubbub land. I'm the guy who has given jobs to anybody who needs it because they need to support their families. I signed in the past to be a sponsor for many immigrants. I mean, who are workers of mine. And I did, and help them get green cards. This lawyer, supposedly, I thought he was a lawyer, told me, "Heshy sponsor 3 people and they'll work for you." He ended up forging my signature 300 times. He didn't only do it to me, he did it to 100 other people. He conned us all, he used our names, and he tricked us. I was arrested and I was put away for a conspiracy. They offered me a deal to cooperate with the government. I went to the grand jury. And I said to them, "I don't know what you want from me. If you know everything what's going on, you know it wasn't me." At the trial, they said I didn't sign one of the documents, only 3 of them. But again, they didn't want to hear, they wanted cooperation. Out of the 100 people that were arrested, 50 people cooperated. From my community, neighbors, friends that I see all the time, famous names. Another 48 went to the trial, and then right before trial, they again made a deal and they agreed. And what happened was 2 of us said, "No, I am not guilty. I told him I'm not guilty." And the judge got up and said, "Listen, even if you're not guilty, Mr. Tischler, conspiracy means if your brother is robbing a bank, you got to get off the bus and stop him. And you didn't. Too bad on you. And I only found out about it at the end. This guy and his buddy Lipa Teitelbaum, and his name is Sam Solomon, two crooked men, thieves. I didn't make any money. Everybody knew I didn't make money. And in Otisville, I served my community. I served 118 people. I took care of everybody. They all called me Uncle Heshy. They all called me mayor. As of now, we still help 19 families that have no money, that we support them every single month. Ask them, call them. I have my son going up there to visit people that don't have visitors. We get kosher foods shipped in to the people that need it. People who come out of Otisville, I help them get jobs because there's no jobs to them. So you want to say, oh, because you want to just do it off the top of your head, young girl, that I committed a crime? People make mistakes. People get arrested because a husband and wife fight and nothing happens and they accuse him of child molesting. Of course, child molesting is the worst thing in the world. Worse, worse, worse. But you've got to be approved. And everybody knew that I wasn't arrested for doing the crime, that I didn't cooperate. And that's who I am. Heshy keeps his mouth shut. I have more secrets a day, my dear friend, and I try to tell people not to tell me.
I believe that.
My head is ready to explode. I'm scared every time somebody tells me something.
Steve, go ahead. What's your question?
Two questions. One is first a comment for Heshy. I was planning on going out to vote for you, but I'm scared you'll give up the radio show once you win. That's my first concern.
No, actually, we're going to get him. We're going to get him back here. We're going to try to get him back here, even after the election. After he wins, we're going to still have the radio show. So don't worry about that. Go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
And what about, do you see in the future shortening the length of the alternate side parking window? That after the street sweeper comes by, you can move your car back into place. Something to that effect.
Right. So Steve, number one, after I win the election, of course I'm going to be on the radio. I'm not going to hide from you. I'm going to come
Man's
on.
not going anywhere.
I'm going to come on every week and tell you what the city council has done and what the budgets are, where the money is going, what my community needs. I'm going to be on the radio constantly pitching and telling you the truth. I am not going to hide. On the alternate side of the street parking, I have a great idea. And matter of fact, that is what I've been saying about shortening the window over there. I'm not going to tell you to move your cars. There's going to be a GPS system in your, that you're going to be, an app that you're going to be able to tie into. If you see that the sweeper is not coming anyways during the 2 hours, you don't have to move the car. But you're going to have to move the car if the sweeper comes. You'll have your 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. If the sweeper comes and sees you there, you're going to get a ticket. But if the guy doesn't come that day, you don't have to move the car. And plus, yes, I plan on changing the hours. I plan on working on it. You know, in our neighborhood, they recently came up with an idea. Well, truck delivery should be done at nighttime. We have a 24-hour community. You cannot start having deliveries not during the daytime and only at nighttime. You can't expect young businessmen or small stores to be open 24 hours. It means work at night, accept deliveries. They're not Walmart or ShopRite and stuff like that. They're small stores to be up all day and night, not go and see the family and work during the day for the few dollars that they make. No, I plan on easing the traffic, removing cars from the main avenues with my park and ride. Plus, on alternate side of the street parking, the days that we have alternate side of the street parking, those hours, I plan on making free parking in my parking lots. That 4,000 spots that I'm going to try to increase even more during alternate sides parking between 9:30 and 11. Move your car into the main parking lot. You don't have to pay. So either way, you're getting in your car to move your car on alternate side. Either way, you're going to double park the car, which anyways, you know, you're allowed to double park that. My opposition doesn't know that. You can move a car and double park it on alternate sides of parking. But don't even double park it. Move your car into my lot. What are you going to block it? 10, 15 blocks away? Then you have to get back into my parking lot and it'll take you home. You're right. You'll go back later on. Plus, with these parking apps, you can pay for your meters through your telephone that you never even have to go back to your car. So there's no excuses that you can't park or get tickets or so on. I plan on easing congestion. I plan on working alternate side street parking. I don't have magical flying machines or vacuum cleaners on the street. I have serious ideas.
Yeah. Steve, anything else?
You were saying about the parking lot, but that's not an answer if somebody lives far away. What about about doing something else about the alternate?
Again, I told you on the alternate side of the street parking, we're going to give everybody that GPS. We're going to put GPS, instead of making new cleaning machines, a GPS unit is very cheap to put into every one of those sweepers. So you'll be able to track your block sweepers on the day that when he's going to come to your block or where he's right now. If you see that he's on 55th Street and you live on 41st Street and you see his route, he won't be there for about 20 minutes. You'll be able to run in and get the milk or whatever it is or drop off the shopping. So yeah, you'll be able to control your alternate side of street parking. And I don't plan on creating only one lot. I plan on creating more. And remember, the lot is not for the whole world. The lot is for our neighborhood, for our community, which means is anybody who lives between the avenues of 8th Avenue all the way up to 21st Avenue or Bay Parkway, Avenue J, Avenue K, everybody in my district, those are the people. It's centrally located. The first lot is pretty centrally located. But I plan on creating more lots, plan on finding more city places where I can create more parking. If I can somehow come up with an idea, I already have the first 4,000 mapped out. God forbid I come up with 10,000 spots. Wow. And different areas in our community. I'm a hero.
This is someone who's involved in politics in New Hampshire, who's very savvy on this. She wants to ask you a question. Kat, go ahead.
Yeah. Ralph keeps trying to get me to move to New York. But one of my big fears is the safety in your city. Every day, people are getting shot. He just spent the first hour talking about all the gun violence in your city and others. If you get elected, what are you going to do about safety, and specifically about gun safety? And I don't want to hear about what you've done, and I don't want to hear about all that kind of stuff, but I want to hear about what you're going to do about safety on the streets and about gun safety specifically.
Well, I want you to know, everybody, the mayor comes out all the time and says crime is down. Let me tell you right now, according to the numbers that I've seen, crime is up by about 20%. I don't know what figures or what fake numbers they've come up with, the city or the mayor. It's not true. You're right. I want to implement legislation in the city council. You can't just punish people with guns. You've got to get rid of it. There has to be a plan to remove guns completely from our city. There has to be a way to figure it out. I want to stop gun violence. Every day, if I open up the New York Post in the Bushwick area, in the Brownsville area, shootings, killings. In my neighborhood, it's not. New York City is a great town. We have 8 million people, and we don't go around stabbing and killing and shooting and raping each other. But we do have gangs. We do have crazy people. We do have neighborhoods that are not secure. And again, our police officers are too busy ticketing and too busy arresting for stupid arguments on the street. Or it takes you, I was in a car accident a couple of weeks ago. It took 2 hours for them to show up, and I don't even know why. We need to be able to create more of a volunteer force. We need to bring in police officers that are different tiers that will concentrate on gun violence. Yes, the stop and frisk is something that I never agreed with. I don't believe that you can pull me over and just frisk me. I was working in Harlem a couple of years ago, and with my crew, and the cops came over, and everybody had to put their hands on the vans, and they were all frisked. And they were telling me, boss, you got to put your hands on. I said, are you crazy? I'm from Borough Park. I never got frisked and touched down like this. No, they can arrest you if you don't do it. And I watched my guys in fear as the cops walked by. Not so much of the
it's a scary situation,
right? Because they were scared of the cops.
Of course,
we need to have our police officers trained better. We need to go out there and watch the streets more. We're too busy with other stupid things of ticketing and stopping people over drinking a beer on the street or smoking marijuana instead of going after the gun violence, going after the drug dealers. We know where those drug dealers are. Stop this. That's what I want.
All right, we have a new caller. Your name and your question.
My friend Ralph. This is Jimmy from Brooklyn.
Jimmy, what's going on there, buddy? What's your question for Heshy, buddy?
I'm doing pretty well. Actually, Ralph, hi, Heshy. How are you today?
Hi, good, Jimmy. How are you? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing well. Just kind of getting a little off topic. I just wanted to make a quick statement. Ralph is aware that I have 3 sons. 2 of my sons are NYPD officers. Tomorrow will be 3 weeks that one of my sons is on patrol in the 6th, 7th precinct in Brooklyn, which is also known as the Wild Wild West. I'll give you the quick scenario. 911 call to a bodega, man with a gun. Not that the man was holding up the store, but he had a gun in his waistband. Somebody noticed it, called 911. My son and his partner respond, and when the young man sees the 2 officers walk in, his automatic reaction, keep in mind he was 18 years old, his initial reaction was to run. So my son gives chase. It happened on Church Avenue in East Flatbush, and as he's running and as my son is chasing him, the young man decided to turn around with his gun that was in his waistband and pointed at my son as if he was about to fire. My son returned fire. Unfortunately, the young man is now dead. And what makes it even worse is that it turned out to be a BB gun. And obviously, there's no way for any police officers to know whether it's a BB gun, a toy gun, or any kind of gun. You know, the BB guns today look like 9mm, you know? And
Jimmy, I don't want to interrupt you. First of all, I love police officers. Me and my sons, when we were younger, we used to clean their police cars. We love police officers. Sometimes the police officers get out of hand. And the reason they get out of hand is because their bosses tell them to get out of hand, or they give them these crazy instructions or rules. You're right. There's nothing we can do about fake guns or BB guns. And especially with the new laws today, these toy guns or BB guns should have been marked with a red end or whatever it is. It should have been seen. Hey, I can't tell you I wasn't part of that story. But if we can stop guns coming into this town, I don't know how. Trust me, I don't know how. I want to find a way to stop guns from entering our city, from anybody buying it. I don't want cops to take out guns so quickly and think that they're the bosses of us and to shoot people. But you're right. You're right that police officers have to be respected. Police officers have to scour our neighborhoods more, have to be a bigger presence. Your son is one of two driving around in a wild. I know the 67. I know Church Avenue and Flatbush Avenue. I drive through there many times when I see things going on over there. I know that neighborhood. We need more police officers situated in different neighborhoods, but we're too busy giving them other tasks. We're too busy giving our ticket agents to give out tickets instead of them moving flowing traffic along. We could reassign. We can work on the officers' assignments. You know, this is not a day job. This is our lifetime job. These cops have wanted to serve. Like me, I want to serve my community. Police officers want to serve. I'm not too happy that the police officers all, I guess, across the entire city somehow endorsed my opponent. Every single police officer endorsed my opponent. I don't know why. I've done good for my police officers. I've been there for them. I've cleaned their cars. I've always respected them. I love them. I think they're great. Every once in a while, we have a couple of bad ones who just are out for their own, and and they get transferred to another thing, and we sweep it under the rug. Recently, I told you we had a police officer who took an old man out of his car and threw him on the floor. Maybe she had a bad day. You know, and I feel bad, Jimmy. I'm going to tell you some statistics that I learned. 40% of police officers and correctional officers are either divorced or going through a bad marriage, because they have these issues. They have these depressions because they're scared. They don't want to hurt another human being, but they lose it like the rest of us. And it's a shame that this young 18-year-old boy was killed because of this stupidity. We've got to figure out a way to stop gun violence and guns, and not too much to concentrate on other stupidities. Anyways,
Jimmy, let me ask you a question, please. If you're free on Wednesday, please call my show. Let's talk about this situation a little bit further, okay?
it would really be my pleasure. Can I make a real quick point, Ralph?
Sure.
Like I said, real quick. Anybody out there, whether it be male or female, if you can remember back to when you were 19, 20, 21, 22, and you decided to take the police officer's test, if you had any kind of balls inside of you and you tried to do that, and you go to the academy for the close to 9 months and you get trained, and trained well, mind you, and you're in a situation, I'll just throw one off the top of my head, there's two 340-pound guys that are going at it. They're rolling around on the floor and they're out for blood. They're trying to kill each other. Two police officers pull up. Now, both of my sons, one is 260, one's 245. They're pretty big guys in their own right. But now, as soon as you pull up to the spot, those two guys that were going at each other now turn their attention to you. Okay, this is just off the top of my head. You talk about split-second decisions, literally blink-of-an-eye decisions. I would like to see anybody in the city of New York that is not a police officer, try and put yourselves into the shoes of a police officer.
All right, Jimmy, and listen, talk about that on Wednesday. You're so right. What he says here is right. This isn't something that they can think about before they act. They have to act immediately. It's rough. So people get the wrong idea thinking that our friend here is anti-police. Nothing could be farther from the truth. This is certain circumstances that he's pointing out where things aren't right. Wouldn't you rather have somebody point it out than just let it go? That's
Right.
what I admire about you, Hesh.
I say the way it is. If something is wrong, I like the police officers, but sometimes they lose it. Like anybody, like all of us lose it. You know, they asked me recently, would you? I want to have. We had a demonstration that we kill chickens on Yom Kippur to cleanse our souls with an animal. Now, if you go to any restaurant, if you go to Cipriani, the same chicken that my wife makes at home for like $10 cost you like $300. Now, I don't see PETA protesting over there. You know what I mean? They came into our community because we were Jews. They stood in our streets. They demonstrated over stupidity, and over a one-day Jewish holiday where the chickens would have been killed here or in a butcher shop. Then the police allowed them to disrupt our community. And when we want to make a demonstration, we were both wrong. It's not an answer that both sides are wrong. I don't like when Trump answered the other time by the shooting, both sides were wrong. There's no such thing as both sides are wrong.
Yeah, that's a cop-out.
Right. And my community affairs officers did something wrong, and they were able to cop out. But when they only see one side or one group of people protesting, especially against the cops, they threaten to arrest them.
Quickly, caller, what's your question? Caller, what's your question? I hear you. What's your question? Go ahead.
So as my show is winding down, I've had a lot of tweets and texts, and I'm going to tell you what I just read. One guy asked me, why vote for, if you're not going to win, Heshy, who are you going to vote for? Over and over a question. I keep telling everybody I'm going to win. Why should I tell you anything about the other ones? You want to hear me talk bad about my opponents? I'm controlling myself. I don't want to hear it. Yes, my young friend there, Yoni Hiker, who I met Saturday night, a nice boy. But again, he's 36, 37 years old, no political experience. He met a lot of other people. He's never run a campaign before. I happen to have run campaigns for my sons. I am behind the scenes in 10 other elections over the years. I've helped his own father run twice. Well, I helped his own father run 35 years ago in the campaign. So I've been part of politics all my life. I've always been part of the community, the quiet, the back door, fighting the laws and regulations. For my other opponent, Mr. Yeager, he's been a community board activist for 17 years. He's a lawyer. He's a consultant lawyer for legislation to other politicians. He did run a campaign once before and he lost in a different borough, in a different district. This is my district. I know my people. I live with my people. I could have gone to the rabbis for blessings and crying. I didn't. I went there for the blessings to show everybody that I don't need the endorsements. I need the endorsement of the people. As the show runs down now, tomorrow is November the 7th. Go out and vote the school choice party for Heshy Tischler. I am your man. I need your vote. I need 8,000 votes, and I'd love to get all 18,000 and show the world who the real councilman is. Win by not a landslide, by a crush slide. Thank you, everybody.
See you Wednesday. See you Wednesday at 6.
No.
Vote for Heshy tomorrow.
Wednesday, I'm going to be councilman. See you tomorrow in the polls.
This is AM 930, WPAT Patterson.